What is shaking? And look, it's like I never left. Lou is like hogging the picture. She's like, I don't care. It's your first show back. It's my time. My time to shine. Classic. So it's been a little while. It's been about 6-7 weeks since we've done a show. We did the entire football season, Brent, and skipped the playoffs and Super Bowl.
What the hell? Like all the fun part except the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I was thinking about that. I was like, God dang. We grinded all the way to the end, and then we're like, let's just skip the playoffs, like the most fun stuff to talk about. But you're right. The Niners got throttled, and game 1 was fun against Philadelphia. That was a fun game. So how you been? It's good to see you.
I'm good.
I've missed it.
Great to see you, and obviously been texting the heck out of you. But it's awesome to have you back. I had everybody that I come in contact with, I'd have to tell them what's up, make sure that they knew that you didn't just freaking get hit by a bus. And that was it. That was the end of the podcast.
I'm going to show you. The podcast is over. It's just done. That's the thing. Like when you like do stuff like this, like I'm not on Twitter that much, and I'm certainly not on YouTube other than this. Instagram a little bit. But for the most part, like I don't need to live my life on social media. But when you do and you die, it's just fucking over.
It's
like
brutal.
the trail just goes cold right there. It's like done.
Yeah. Did you have people like sending out, "Hey, Tom's still okay"? Like, was anybody on any of those?
Not much. I didn't check a lot of them.
I had to let everybody think. Just like the day you had your surgery, and for 2.5 days, I didn't know if you were alive or not. So I mean, what I should have done is had Lori's number, but I didn't have it.
Yeah, I'll have to
kind
give
of
you that
annoyed
just in
me.
case.
And I was kind of sending you some smart ass comments like ground control to Major Tom. And then I was like, on day 2, are you alive? And there's no response. And then I'm thinking, God, those are so insensitive. That's horrible.
What if
something really bad happened?
But the thing is, if I wasn't alive, I wouldn't have known.
No. But so you would have loved my commentary.
Who's it going to be insensitive to? Certainly not me.
I figured at some point you'd laugh.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, here's what I was dealing with. I'll show you this. This was one of my favorite evenings being in the hospital. This was my bane.
You sent me that.
I sent you that. I'll show everybody else.
Yeah.
That's me wearing my Bane
costume.
mask.
You got to go with that.
And let's see. This is a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
So I had to wear that for 10 hours, 9-10 hours. And what it did is it's like a CPAP machine where the CPAP kind of helps you breathe. Mm-hmm. This one just forces air down your throat, basically, is what it does. So when you breathe out, it just shoves it right back down your throat. And what they were trying to do is get the water off my lungs. So it would force the air back down, and that would hopefully expand the lungs and then get the water off. I mean, I slept a little bit, which was nice. It was like somebody brought me out a bowl of sand, and I had to lap that sand up every hour. My mouth was so dry. It was like it was like, you know how when like things get so dry they start just cracking? That was my mouth. It was like cracking. Like if I like scratch this part right here, this part would go.
We're laughing. This is horrible, but
we can laugh about it now. We can laugh about it now. It's we're done with that part. But yeah, that was rough. The sleeping was probably the worst because I think at one point I added it up over about 13 days. I had about 11 hours sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, and that just makes everything worse. Just makes everything worse.
Couldn't you take some? Couldn't they given you a shot or something?
Rest, dude. I told him to give me a rhino trank. I didn't care. Like, just shoot me. Yeah. You see those like rhinos like go down in the wild. They're like, and they They just, I was like, just give me anything, man.
A trank would be great for sure.
I'm ready for anything. So no, we made it out, got home, and been slowly but surely progressing ever since. So everybody that sent a tweet or whatever, thank you, appreciate it. And Brent was certainly one of the ones. You were like one of the only, like, probably less than 10 people. I'm not a guy. Look, I'm too old to be in a hospital room, like, live streaming with everybody. Hey, everybody, what's going on? How are you? Like, I don't need everybody to know that much about me. I love doing this. I love that, but I don't need you to be in every aspect.
But there's a lot of people that care about you. And
no, I know.
I know. Yeah, I got millions of friends.
I got a few.
No, but thank you. I felt privileged to know that you were alive and how things were going. And then the handful of people that I'd come in contact with or that I'd know you'd be fine sharing with. It's like I want people to know that you're still okay. Because nobody knew what was going on.
Well, trust me, I was in no mood anyway to text or do anything. I was like, it wasn't like I was just like, that was the last thing I wanted to do. Look, there was a 2-day period where I thought ice chips were the greatest thing on the face of the earth. That's where I was at. And then if you added apple juice into them, oh my God. You me? I mean, you could throw, I got filet mignon. What? Filet mignon? Give me the ice.
You need to have field work apple juice.
I was so happy for ice. Just, I think it was at the tail end of my Bane period where I was like, just give me some moisture in my mouth. And Laura was there. She was just like dropping ice cubes in. I go back 5 feet, see if you can make it. Bouncing ice chips off my forehead from the corner. Good. Oh good. God, what a mess. So yeah, we're through it. We're good to go. Let me ask you this before we get to the Niners offseason. And I thought it was a successful season with all the injuries and everything, especially with the playoff win. You go to Philly, you beat Philly. Hell of a game. About all I remember from that game is the Juwan Jennings throw to McCaffrey. That's about all I remember from that game. But I pieced together a lot of playoff stuff while I was in the hospital. But that I just thought it was a successful year. I know Niners always want to win the Super Bowl. I totally get that. This probably wasn't that team to do it, and it certainly wasn't going to be that team to do it with all the injuries that they had to deal with. So I thought going into the offseason, I mean, it's hard to say it's a successful season, like if you want to win the Super Bowl, but I thought they had a lot of things to feel good about.
Yeah, I will say rewarding season. Me,
I like that.
For me, it was the equivalent of a team that made it to the Super Bowl. Maybe not winning it, but the things that this team accomplished and overcame and had so many random guys step up in big ways throughout the course of the season made it, from a fan's perspective, knowing what was going on behind the scenes, super, super rewarding. And yeah, the Seattle game was rough, but I thought it might be. I think Seattle's defense was just smothering, and it would have been a great battle had we had all of our weapons. If everybody was ready to go, full game, full speed, it would have been a heck of a battle, and it certainly would have been like the old days of the Niners-Cowboys, where the winner of that game was clearly going to walk in and win the Super Bowl, hands down. And that certainly was the case with Seattle. I didn't think the Patriots had a shot in hell, and I was proven right. And that part felt good. But, yeah, they had no idea what it was like to play against a premier defense.
Although I would include the Rams in that group, though, too.
I agree. And I think I told you this. It was November, and I told a group of people that I was hanging out with, I'm not a big gambling guy, but if I was, I would put it all in on either the Rams or Seattle to win it all. and I was still rooting for the Niners, but we had succumbed to too many injuries on the defensive side of the ball to be able to compete in an NFC championship, most likely.
Yeah.
But those were the two teams. Took out every AFC team. No way were they going to do it, and that's what I had determined by Thanksgiving, and that ended up being just the case.
No doubt about it. And I should let everybody know the show is sponsored by Fieldwork. And they have a new brewery over by the ballpark, right across from McCovey Cove, which I think we're going to be out there right at the beginning of the season. Not sure exactly what day, but we're going to go out there and do a show. And it's a good year for Fieldwork to be affiliated with the Sharks. They've been a heck of a year, 2-0 since they got back from the All-Star break. I know they've been really good. If Toffoli registers on the score sheet, assist or goal, you go into Fieldwork the next day and get 50% off your draft or non-alcoholic beverage. Fieldwork, the official non-alcoholic craft beer of your San Jose Sharks. That Macklin Celebrini kid's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, yes. Holy cow! I haven't seen him live. I hadn't been out for a Sharks game.
You got to get out and get out and go to a game.
I know. I do. You and I need to go. I want to go to a Giants game with you. That would be a blast.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Or both.
We could do both. You were a member of the board with the Sharks for a little bit, weren't you? Look at you, a board member with the Sharks.
It was the greatest. And my good buddy that owned the team, Kevin Compton, was the greatest. Treated the players like they were his own kids. I mean, just a dear guy, great owner, and let me run wild in the board meetings and for games. So I'd get my seats. My favorite seats were behind the glass that they shot on twice. And I convinced Ralph, who was not a hockey fan at the time, I went right at him and said, I'm going to make you a hockey fan. And I did. And more important than that, I made Tate a hockey fan. And Tate's a big Seahawks guy.
Is he really?
Yeah, he was strutting like nobody's business. God bless him. And because it was Tate, I let him do it.
You let him do it?
Yeah, but anybody else throwing the Seahawks at me, I would have gone off.
I still remember one of my favorite memories from doing a show down there was Ralph and I were doing the show down in the bowels of the Shark Tank, and Tate had a little hockey stick and his orange ball, and you could hear it while we're doing the show. You could hear this ball banging against the wood behind us because he was like ripping slappers, and it was like pow, pow, pow. And finally Ralph goes. He was there with one of his buddies. He goes, "Hey, why don't you go up top and go like look for a hat? Go get yourself a hat, whatever." So they're like, okay. So they go upstairs. They're gone for a little bit. Tate comes back with a hat, and it was one of those flat-billed hats straight across. Ralph lost it. He goes, "Take that back. Take that back. Take that hat back."
Oh man,
I was cracking up. I was like, "Look, Ralph, that's just not our thing. Like, we're not in that demo. We're not in the flat bill demo. Okay, that's what they wear nowadays." And he goes, "Not in my house, they don't.
Not in my house.
Not in my house, they don't.
We need to go Sharks. Go Sharks.
Go Sharks." Yeah, we do need that. We had a whole bunch of them. We had he was the original. Kipe did the Go Shark. We had a whole bunch of We used to just play them back to back to back to back.
There's so many of those great ones over the years. God, what else?
Ralph was the best though, because he'd watch a few games, and we'd have Doug Wilson on all the time.
Oh,
and he'd tell Doug, I really like this guy. Like, I think he's a really good player. Blah 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 blah. Like Ralph's like in about 2 months, Ralph became Mr. Hockey. So he knows.
There you
go. He goes, "Well, Ralph, he was our first round pick." He goes, "Oh, that's why he's pretty good." I go, way to pick him out. You picked him out. Although Doug Wilson always used to, he was hilarious because every time we had Doug on, I would ask him at one point during the interview, I'd go, "Doug, why can't you just get a sumo goalie? Get like the fattest dude you can and stuff him in between the
Thought
pipes."
of that a million times.
I know. Why? I go, why?
There's no hole. There's no 9-hole, 8-hole, 7-hole, 6-hole.
Just like do this and just like lift that shoulder, and you should be good to go. I mean, look, how many times do you flip on, like, I don't know, the A&E network or something? They have like 1,000-pound brothers. I know they have 1,000-pound sisters, but just get one of those brothers and stick him in between the pipes.
How great would that be? Just lay down and listen to your iTunes. Just, hey, give us just 2.5 hours. You lay here and we'll pay you. That'd be great.
Stick in your earbuds. You should be good to go. That'd be
we'll try to make sure the padding's good.
Oh God, 6'2",
shouldn't hurt too badly.
6'2", 5 1/4. Just stick that dude in there.
I mean, how would you? I mean, I'd watch that all day long. Like, do that.
Oh, you kidding me?
How great would that be?
You kidding me? And I got to imagine too, like skating is less stress on the knees, so that'd be easier for him too. I mean, he's not going to skate a lot. He's not going to go behind the net.
Skates could be dangerous. I just haul him out, just like put him in a little net and haul him out there and lay him down.
Yeah, he's not going to be playing the puck. He's not going behind the net to play the puck. No. Like once he's in between the pipes, he's between the pipes.
You're just there. Yeah,
just there. That's all we need. Put on some tunes. Relax for a little bit.
We'll let you know when the game's over.
We'll come get you every 30 or 40 minutes or so for intermission.
For a dog.
and Doug was always like, okay, that's enough. That's oh, brother.
Man. But those are great Sharks days. And it's great to see they're back and playing great. And I do need to go see Celebrini in person.
We should. When you get to the Bay Area, let's try to match it up. We can go see a Sharks game and a Giants.
Would be Giants great.
Game.
Can Bergie come?
Yeah, we can get Bergie.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get Bergie. I mean, it's not. Thing is, too, it's not just Celebrini. It's Celebrini, Will Smith, Dickinson. Misa just scored. I guess he's. I listened to Warsofsky said he's earned his time earned his time into OT, so he must be playing pretty well. So they're all these young guys. This is like kind of the dream, right? You compete for a playoff spot. You're battling. These guys are getting big time experience, and then you move them on in the next year and add to those guys. So I can't imagine it's going much better than they get. I mean, Ashkarov could be playing a little bit better. Makbadulin's been pretty good, but it's you got all these young guys on the squad, and you're competing for playoffs. So it's pretty exciting. It's like the Sharks went through a lull, but now it looks like they're on the ascent now. And hopefully we'll get another run like we did with Jumbo, like 20 years of like playoffs every single year.
Wasn't that great? God, we were so awesome. Close. I think I've told you this before, but I would have gotten a ring. it would have been way down the line, but I would have got a day with the cup. I was absolutely freaking going to wander around Danville with the Stanley Cup. It would have been the greatest. Like, I'm so bummed. And people are like, but you would have had nothing to do with it. And I'm like, that's what makes it great.
That's what makes it incredible.
Absolutely.
It's classic. I got a couple of rings from the Warriors, and I always go, they go, what'd you do? Nothing. I was sitting up in the stands. What are you talking about? I did absolutely nothing. I love when people, you know what the best is? When people get the rings and they act like they did something. It's like, bro, no, you didn't. No, don't do that. You may be able to pull that off out there, but when you come in this room, don't try to pull that off and say you did something. You didn't do anything. Okay. I know you sold 4 party packs. Okay. Like 4 mini plan packs that you didn't help them win a championship.
We had guys on our team that didn't do anything, that wandered around with them. Like never took them off, went to the bar. Who's going to buy me a drink?
Oh, it's hilarious. You know what? Oh God, who was it? Was it, were you on, you had to have been there when Mike Sherrard was a wide receiver with you guys, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So he went to a Warrior game and he sat in the same section. I don't know if somebody on our team got him tickets or maybe just the Warriors got him tickets. I'm not really sure. But he sat in the same section as the family section. So Lori was in that section too. at the end of the game, he gave her a card. Mike Sherrard, wide receiver, San Francisco 49ers.
No way. Mike Sherrard's a good dude. Please
tell me
that. That just that knocks him down a peg or two.
I'm like, bro, did you go out and actually have cards made that just said wide receiver, San Francisco 49ers? What kind of business card is that? Like, seriously.
I mean, seriously, it's good. It's not as good as a tight end, though. You can throw that one down. Yeah.
I go, what do you go give that to the Eagles and introduce yourself? Hey, you got a third wide receiver slot available for me? Like, who do you give that to? But it was funny when she got that because she showed it to me, and I go, oh, I know that dude. Played for UCLA. Plays for the Niners.
Did you call that number?
I did not call that number. I should have called it up. Yo, man, what do you want?
Bro,
I'll give you my business card. Tom Tolbert, power forward, Golden State Warrior.
Don't you have my card? That is the worst.
I was like, I gotta go get a card.
Of all the guys, I wouldn't have picked him.
Yeah,
man. When I see him next time, I'm jamming him.
You're gonna have to get him out and go, hey, you still got some of those cards?
Some of those sweet cards. Is your cell number the same?
All right, let's get to the offseason a little bit. Man, it's so hard to not figure out what this team needs, but kind of figure out in what order they're gonna do it, right? Because they could use some help on the offensive line, which I don't think they're gonna go with initially. And I think Kyle thinks he can handle the offensive line, and it doesn't need to be as talented as maybe other units, because I think he feels like he can kind of navigate his way around it. Although I don't think he's full of that much hubris where he thinks he can do it himself. He knows he needs talent, and having the big fella there obviously helps. If you don't have the big fella there, then good luck. So offensive line,
and the big fella. I mean, there could be some issues there.
Could be defensive line.
Yep,
they can use some more depth defensive line. Now that one wouldn't surprise me, because they love drafting defensive linemen in the first round. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. And then wide receiver. Yep. I mean, they desperately need some help.
Agree with all those.
At wide receiver. It's where do you go first? Like, if you out of those groups, do you say we got to have some more playmakers, or we need to? Because that's when to me, Brent, when the Niners have been their best, their front seven, and more specifically their front four, have set the tone. Like, that's been Niner football. Is get after your ass from a defensive line standpoint, and you can't run it on them. The teams have been able to run on them over the last couple of years or so. So I don't know which way they go. That would probably be the way I'd try to go if the value was there, but I don't know. What do you think? Because those are the three groups that I think probably need addressing.
Yeah, I think for sure we go linemen on both sides of the ball. And I'm not necessarily even talking draft.
Yeah.
I always figure you can get a solid offensive lineman plug and play, and obviously that in free agency, but the price continues to go up each and every year. But I think you can get guys that can come in and be a little bit flexible, maybe play guard, either side of the ball, maybe center. We need to make sure that we aren't depleted, and obviously we need more defensive linemen. I'd love to see a big speed wide receiver, right? I mean, I know that people have said, hey, maybe Mike Evans. I don't know if Tyreek Hill loses speed, but I know that off the field he can be a challenge. But man, to have something like that going down the field, loosening up the top of the defense, because that's really been our issue. We haven't had a burner. We've had some pretty darn good guys, but it'd be nice to have a little bit more room to get things done and to be able to hit some shots down the field. I didn't expect to say this, but we might need another tight end, somebody that's at least solid, at least for the first half of the season.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Tonjes was just a stud, and I think he's going to be the guy. But we might need, a number two at least for the first half of the season.
Well, it's interesting because they were saying that that Kenyon Sadiq kid from Oregon was the guy that could have been there when the Niners were drafting, but apparently since he's run his 4.4 now, that ain't gonna happen anymore. He's gonna be long gone by the time the Niners draft. But I
don't even know, like, if we had an opportunity to take him, I understand that would be valuable, but there's just so many things. I don't want to play for 5 years from now. I want to still play for now.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny. I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. Bergie and I talk about this all the time, that you can never go wrong. Every year of the NFL draft, take an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman with your first round pick. Just keep getting big dudes that are really good at what they do, and figure out the rest later on. Like, I'd love for them to get like a playmaker on the outside, because they really need a playmaker on the outside. There's still free agency as well, though. But to me, it's still football. As much as it's changed, it's still about the offensive line and defensive line. And if you win with the offensive line and defensive line, you're going to win a hell of a lot of football games. I mean, look at you guys. Back when you were winning Super Bowls, everybody mentions, Steve and Joe and Jerry and John and you and Roger, and then all the defensive guys. Rarely do they mention the offensive line and defensive line, but you guys were awesome on the offensive line and defensive line. And that's why it always cracked me up when they said the Niners were a finesse football team, because you look at your offensive line and defensive line, there's nothing finesse about either of those sides of the ball. But they probably don't get as much credit as they deserve, because they were two of the best units in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all those years, and we didn't have a lot of changeover. So our offensive line was spectacular at communicating, at helping, at understanding. And I think that they said we were finesse because we were probably 20 pounds lighter than everybody else. But our guys would get out, at different levels, get blocks downfield. But, you think about you having Steve Wallace and Guy McIntyre and Jesse Sapolo and Harris Barton. And, we had Derek Deese at the one guard spot for a good part of the time. And, we had multiple guys. Ralph Tam was in there, but we had guys that could play. And prior to that, Randy Cross and Keith Farnhorst were freaking studs back, in the early 80s and up to the mid 80s. And and all those guys on the offensive line don't get acknowledged. People on the defensive line, we had Kevin Fagan and Pierce Holt were studs. Maybe they weren't household names all the time, but how about Michael Carter? That guy was just
Michael Carter.
And I was afraid of Michael. But we had guys all over the place that could play the game, and they didn't get acknowledged. And I agree with you and Bergie. I mean, especially I think when you're down in the the late 20s and that's your pick. Because you might get the fourth or fifth best wide receiver, but you could still get the second or third best lineman. And I feel like the drop off at the skill positions is pretty drastic, but I feel like the linemen, both offensive and defensive, there's a pretty good steady state through sometimes third round. And so grabbing a couple of those guys along the way is probably a pretty good idea if you don't have the big play wide receiver that drops into your lap. But that's not going to happen at 28 or wherever they are, 27.
Yeah,
I don't even know the number yet. I get ramped up on the draft.
I think it's combine too. 27. What?
I said I watched a little combine too.
Why? Did somebody strap you to your chair?
I didn't know. Every now and then you just want to see what guys are running, and you want to see, this guy, let me see his high jump, let me see his vertical. And it feels like some of these numbers get a little bit more outrageous every year. And so it's just always interesting to watch.
Okay, as someone who played the game, tell me exactly what in the hell broad jump has to do with football.
Great question. It is, I think it has to do with your leg strength. So it's kind of, if you think about it, like they do bench press, but they don't sit there and do squats. But how functional is that? Like, yeah, a guy can lift 1,000,000, pounds. Maybe for linemen it is, but for skill positions, I think it's kind of leg explosions type of. I mean, how do you measure that? And maybe so much has been made about fast twitch muscles and how those relay onto your speed or some of the abilities that you can have out on the field. And so I think that's probably a measurement. And it's weird. I remember at the time thinking, gosh, this is kind of stupid, but no, it was legit, and they pay attention to that. Shocking.
What was your 40 time?
My 40 time was 4.61. I was so happy.
God, that's fast.
It was fast. I was psyched. And then I don't know that they had all the electronic back then.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. It probably wasn't as good. But I had some teams get me at 4.65, 4.61. Nobody got me at 4.5 anything, which was a bummer. But then on the broad jump, I think I was 10.4, which was like the second best of some skill positions, and I was pretty psyched about that. I'm sure guys have gone farther now, but I remembered all my stuff. I think I had a 37 vertical, and I was.
Did you really?
That was pretty good. But I was. Were
you a dunker back in high school?
Not in high school. In college.
Oh, in college, were you a dunker?
Yeah. You know what? I got Dick Vermeil's brother, Al Vermeil, was a superstar coach at Hayward State, and not Hayward State, but in Hayward, and he was obsessed with plyometrics, and the Russians were beating us in the Olympics all the time. Probably because of steroids.
Yeah,
but
steroids.
Plyometrics became a big deal, and I got introduced to Al Vermeil, and I became obsessed starting my sophomore year of just doing plyometrics, and I literally went from, who knows, my vertical is probably 32 to 37, and I was doing all kinds of crazy plyometric workouts, and I guarantee you it knocked 2/10 off my 40 over those couple of years.
The box jumps, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Box jumps.
Like I was legit at those. Just looking at them right now hurts. But
we used to have a weight. Our trainer at Arizona, Meg. I think Meg from East Germany. I'm not sure. She looked like she was from East Germany. Because, dude, the East German women back then used to be able to toggle back and forth between the men's team and the girls' team. Like they were massive. So we used to do these things called burpees, and she'd go, "Okay, it's time for 4 sets of the burpees. Let's go. It's burpees time." And we would just crack up. We'd do the burpees and the box jumps and all that.
Oh my god!
But that's about the first time I remember that the plyometrics with all the box jumps. Box jumps was great. The only bad part about the box jumps when you got tired on the box jumps, if you caught it thin, you might shave your shin down the side of the box. It's like getting some roast beef from the butcher. It's like, that hurts so bad.
It did
so
hurt.
Bad. You couldn't stop it either. And then you'd bleed for like, I don't know, 5 weeks almost. It's like you couldn't stop the bleeding. It's so thin up there. It's like, how do I get the bleeding to stop? In fact, I'll give you one. This isn't a burpee story, but it's a story when I was at UC Irvine. I was playing softball, and I think it was after the season, and I was wearing shorts per usual. But like an idiot, I was trying to score on a single to left field from second in softball, and I decided I was going to slide. I was going to slide in home with shorts on, and we all know how home plate area is. Rough, just bare dirt, and I just same thing, just shaved my shin, and I was like, oh my god! And then the side of my leg where I was sliding. At least I know I was sliding properly. Because I knew that that's where I should have sores. So I went to bed that night, and I got up in the middle of the night because I had to go to the restroom. And I got up.
The sheet went.
My sheets were stuck to my leg.
Dude, that was half my life.
Oh,
seriously.
God.
Playing on AstroTurf, that was elbows, shins, knees, and gosh dang, your hips. You get like if you ever hit the ground or slide going forward, like all the spots that you'd have, and then it would just heal up after a couple of weeks, and you'd have another game and tear it open, and it would ooze. Every time you took a shower, it'd be brutal, and then you'd stick to the sheets.
The sheets were brutal. You get up and go, why am I dragging sheets along with me?
What am I doing?
It was the worst. It was the worst. Because you had to get him off, and there was only one way to get him off. Just, and you knew it was coming. And it hurt like hell, too.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Just thinking about that. Yeah.
It was bad.
The things that you put up with now, you're like, one little thing, and you're like, my leg hurts.
Exactly. All right, a couple more questions. I'll let you get on out of here. And again, I always appreciate it.
Dude, this is awesome.
I know. I can't wait to get to. We got our March Madness picks coming up.
Oh, I can.
We got more NFL stuff.
Texas team I'm going to pick.
Exactly. All right, give me your thoughts. How comfortable are you right now with Ricky Pearsall going into next year being a number one receiver for this team?
So you called me to the carpet on my guy. So if he was healthy, I would be confident, but he hasn't been, and so hopefully he will be. But I still think, and I love him going across the field. I love his separation. Does he have top end speed? Maybe not at the highest level, but he has separation speed, and he runs really good routes. And if we get him when he's healthy, I really like him. That said, we're going to need a couple more receivers next year. And so I think we're going to draft one, and I think we're going to get one in free agency. And so that is my personal opinion, and that's what we need. And I also think we need one because George Kittle is not going to be around at the beginning, is my guess. Now, he might target, and hey, far be it from me. The guy's Superman. But I think realistically, we don't see him at the very beginning of the season. And I think that even Jake Tonjes did a great job, but it's the threat of a George Kittle in the passing game is different, the way defenses play you. And so I think we're going to have a bigger arsenal in the passing game to start off with, for sure.
How important will it be to maybe get more from your backup running back next year? I don't think McCaffrey can do what he did this year. I don't think he can have that many touches. And I know it's tough for a coach because Shanahan probably didn't mean to go into all these games and have McCaffrey get that many touches. But when you're trying to win a football game and it's close, you're going to give it to your best player. Yeah. It's like in basketball. I talk to Steve all the time, and all these coaches have these minutes, what they'd like to play. They're like, okay, Steph, I like to play Steph 36 minutes, like to play so-and-so 34 minutes. But when you're in the fourth quarter and it's a 2-point game, you're like, well, hell, I guess we're going to get to 38, 39 minutes now. I didn't want to, but I'm trying to win this basketball game. Yep. Same with football, too. You're going to get it to your best player. How important is it going to be this year, though, to not have a repeat of last year where he has so many touches?
Yeah, I think that's important. And you know what I would like to see, and maybe this isn't exactly the same thing, I'm hoping, but I wouldn't mind seeing CMC out there in the slot. Like the fourth wide receiver, and still have a running back there. And so he doesn't have to take the crunching of getting, pounded by 4 or 5 guys up the middle, but maybe he could, run a couple of option routes and we get him the ball and one guy tackles you. But I just think he's such a threat catching the ball that I get visibly bummed when he comes off to the sideline. And I get it, he gets tired, but it's like, man, I like seeing him out there, and I really like him in the passing game because I just don't think anybody, unless you're putting your top corner on him, I don't think anybody can really cover him. And so I think I'd like us to come up with some ideas to take more advantage of that in and of itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to need a lot less touches at the running back position this year, I think.
I want to see how we saw him run the ball. I mean, it might have been his only carries of the year at the end of the Seattle game, the playoff game. Jordan James, a kid from Oregon. I want to see more of him and see what he's like. I remember him at Oregon being really good.
Yeah.
Like all those Oregon running backs look the same. They all look like they're about 5'10", 210. Maybe not breakaway speed, but they're powerful inside the tackles, and they make people miss, get you, 20, 25 yards occasionally. But I want to see him. I want to see if he's a guy that can be a backup to McCaffrey, because that's one thing they had a few years ago, but they haven't really had this year, and I think they're going to need that. So I'm just curious what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to see some more young guys during the preseason, probably during mini camp and the preseason. It'd be great to get some guys some carries and some experience, and I just think it's just the natural progression of things. But that, like I said, I don't mind him not getting touches at the running back position, but let's not take him off the field.
Yeah. Would it surprise you if they went big game hunting in free agency? Max Crosby, let's just use that as an example, that type of player. Last year they took a step back. They went with the draft. They have some cap space this year that they can use. They don't have to use all of it. But how do you expect them to go about free agency? Maybe instead of one guy, get multiple guys to fill the holes? Or do you think they're going to try to get, maybe through a trade or signing, maybe try to get one big guy?
I would love it. I mean, who's going to decline getting a big guy? And, I know a lot of times fans get all worked up and they worry about the cap. And it's like the cap is a guideline. You know, you can spend over the cap as much as you want, or you can spend under the cap. It's really it's just about how big a bonus you want to pay and how much you want to defer, and when are those dead dollar days, coming. And for me right now with this team, I'd love for that to be, 4 or 5 years from now and keep taking swings. So a Max Crosby would be fun. Can you imagine having to block Crosby and Nick Bosa?
No.
Like, what the hell?
They forget it.
Yeah. So that would be spectacular. I had mentioned I saw that Mike Evans was maybe in the mix at wide receiver.
Yeah.
He can still play. He can still do it. Not only that, like inside the 20, that guy's a force. And so to have somebody like that with the size and the leaping ability and just the strong hands, whether you're covering him or not, it might not matter. And so there's a few big game guys that I would love to have. There's probably a few other guys out there. I haven't been through the list because I don't want to get my hopes up. But and then even the guys on the list could all of a sudden get tagged at the last minute or get their deals done. So whoever knows for sure who's going to legitimately be a free agent. I guess we'll find out pretty soon.
And from a wide receiver position too, curious to see what Watkins can do. I think it was a 4th rounder out of Ole Miss last year. Never was able to get healthy and get out on the field. So I'm kind of curious to see what he has in store. He was supposed to be kind of like this big speed guy. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
what do you think of a Tyreek Hill type of pick?
I don't know.
You don't think that?
I mean, he's such a mess.
Come from the outside and fall.
He's such a mess.
I know he's
such a mess.
But it would be fun to see that speed and give Brock Purdy a shot like that. And I don't know.
Yeah, you might see that speed on 280 and not on the football field.
Yeah.
Who knows where you're going to see that speed? I don't know.
They'd be in the car with Brandon Ayuk. They'd be cruising around.
Fantastic.
Right by the stadium.
That'll be great. I don't know.
What a disaster that's been, by the way.
I mean, it sounds good. It sounds good. Like the Kansas City Tyreek Hill sounds good. The Dolphins Tyreek Hill doesn't sound as good. I don't know. Like I'm a no right now. I'm a no. I'm a no on him. Yeah, I don't know. Did you what did you find out about Ayuk? I mean, what the hell happened there? Was he just getting bad advice, or did he just kind of go goofy? And I'm still never able to figure that one out. Like nobody gives away $27 million, yet he just said, "Yeah, we're good. Go ahead and take it." Like it was the weirdest thing. Like, I don't talk about it much anymore, but it's still going back when you look at it. Go that doesn't happen in the NFL. It just doesn't. Yet it did.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's a deeper story. I hadn't dug into it, but it wasn't just 27 million because it's going to affect the rest of your career earnings and teams that are willing to take a chance.
Good point. Yeah.
And who's going to, so it really was a beat down across the board, and it was bad for the Niners and it was bad for Brandon Ayuk. And so I think there's certainly probably some behind the scenes issues that he's dealing with or has to deal with. So you don't want to root against a kid, but it certainly wasn't a positive for anybody. And so it's just going to be moving on. I know there's been talk about Debo coming back too. And it's like, I get it. And I like Debo when he was with us, but I don't think old Debo is the same Debo. And so I'm a no on that, but maybe.
Yeah, I'm a no on that too, because look, if Debo was a guy who was a route runner, right? Who was a consummate wide receiver, that's the guy you would want. Debo was not a route runner. Debo was a guy that would just find a way to get open, and then you'd say, let's just get him the ball. And then once you get him the ball, then it's like, oh hell, here we go. Because he was magnificent with the ball in his hands in the open field. Like he was awesome. But that doesn't age as well as the guy who knows how to run routes. It's like basketball. If I know how to shoot, I can find my way on a basketball team, even in a diminished role, because I have skill. If I'm just like a physical guy who doesn't have a lot of skill, but I just bully my way through the NBA, but I can do it, the older you get, the tougher it is to do it. Just you can't do it. That's Debo. Debo's that player where he's not gonna age like wine. So I'm with you on that too. It'd be fun. It's always nice to think about bringing the guys back. Like, oh, that'd be so much fun. We had success with him. He was really good when he was here. Rarely does it work out as well.
Yeah.
In reality, as it does in your mind. So I'm with you on that. That's a no.
Yep. I agree.
So, but you're a yes on Tyreek Hill. I'd be a yes on Mike Evans. Give me Mike Evans.
I don't know if I'm fully a yes on Tyreek Hill. I'd actually like to see him run because he's coming off that injury. But I'm a maybe. That's how much speed he has or had.
Yeah.
And man, that would change our offense drastically. And I think how many guys that can run like that are potentially available? One.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna need a little more convincing on that one, I think.
I know it's going against my grain, but it's tantalizing.
Yeah, I for the most part, just to kind of get back to Debo, because I was thinking about Dre Greenlaw too, and I don't know what his situation is with Denver, but I'm more of a once you let a guy go, you let a guy go for a reason.
Yeah.
Don't bring him. Because it just that era is over. Just keep moving on. Keep moving on. It looks like Mac Jones probably going to stay though. It doesn't look like anybody's going to be all that willing to give the Niners what they want. And I think that's a good thing anyway. I mean, until Brock proves he can go 16 games, 17 games now, it's nice to have somebody that you're like, you know what? Even if he goes down, we can still win a lot of football games. So they'll have the best quarterback room in the NFL between Brock and Mac Jones.
I agree with that. You never know. Draft time, somebody could just all of a sudden feel it. And then there's also, the first half of the season, a guy goes down and you've got a playoff team, there's not a whole lot of places to look, and he'd be the number one guy. So you're going to get value for him at some point. What you don't want is to let him play out his contract and leave without any comp. So at some point next year, I'd say if we're in the season, I think that you have to shop him a little bit unless we've got an injury problem. But it's always nice to have two guys, but I'd rather get something for him because I think you get the most for a good quarterback.
No, I agree. Let me ask you this one before we wrap it up, because I know some people were saying that maybe the Niners could look into Justin Jefferson if the Vikings would be willing to move on from him. I don't know that they would, but who knows with their quarterback situation, and that's a rough division to try to navigate right now. I mean, the Bears are only going to get better. The Packers are really good, and I think the Lions will be better this year as well. So I don't know if they'd be willing to do it, and it'd certainly be worth a phone call. But I'm wondering how you feel about this. I've always looked at this, and I look at Super Bowls too, and I'm like, how many Super Bowls feature a wide receiver that was one of the best wide receivers in the game, one of the highest paid wide receivers in the game? And you start looking down the list of wide receivers and how much those guys get paid now. I think Jamar Chase is $40 million. Hell, Ayuk was even 30. They have like probably 10 guys that were $30 million. And then you go and you like, okay, what does Seattle have? They got Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly one of the best. But he ain't making that type of money yet. I don't know that I'm willing to give up that type of money to a wide. It just seems like I can get good wide receivers at a reasonable price. I'd love to have a great wide receiver, right? I'd love to, but not for $30-40 million, man. The only guys I want to pay that type of money for are like left tackles, rush ends, and quarterbacks. That's it. Other than that, I'm going to try to figure out something, but I don't want to give away. You look into it, but what do you think? I mean, kind of where's your stance on paying wide receivers that type of money?
It would have to be a specific wide receiver. I'd certainly be interested if Justin Jefferson would consider, because I think Justin Jefferson has at least 3 good years left. And I've watched him, and he's legit. He's no help. He's got no help, and he had no quarterback last year. And so I don't know that the Vikings can go into the season with their quarterback room. So the old Mac Jones for Justin Jefferson thing, I mean, I know it'd be a risk from not having a backup quarterback, but I'd think long and hard about that deal if that was truly an option. I don't know if you're getting the same quality for the same quality, but you're getting close. And the fact that you don't have a quarterback that can even freaking throw. I knew the Michigan guy, man.
JJ McCarthy?
Man. That's like he played 3 preseason games and everybody anointed him as the superstar. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? He hasn't faced the blitz. He hasn't had to read. I mean, maybe he'll be okay, but it was bleak if you're a Vikings fan. And
they fired the
GM. Getting value, right? I mean, they're not going to be competitive in that division for the next couple of years, in my opinion. So
I agree. Well, I mean, they got the GM fired.
Yeah, holy cow!
Who's here with the Niners now?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure in exactly what capacity, but I mean, look, you said no, we're going to go with JJ McCarthy. We don't want Darnold, and Darnold wins the Super Bowl. Man. That'll get you fired.
That will get you fired in a hurry. That'll get you fired like you trade Luka Doncic for nobody.
Hey, trust me. As much as I love, well, God, I can't even say as much as I love. As much as I enjoy some of the stuff that Luka does on the court, which is fun to watch, Laker fans are starting to get like a full serving of what the Luka experience is, which is offensively there may not be a better talent in the NBA. Defensively, he's a turnstile. The guy argues every single call. It's annoying. It's like, bro, can we just watch? I just want to watch you play and do your stuff. I can't even watch him play half the time because he's so frustrating to watch. It's like, why don't you get your ass back on defense occasionally instead of barking at the official every single time you shoot? Even when you make it, you're bitching at the official that it should be an and one. And certainly if you miss it, you're going to bitch at the official. I've never seen a guy bitch at the official more than him. It takes away your enjoyment from the game. So I'm not going to say Dallas was right because they weren't. Because if you're going to trade Luka, you open it up to everybody and get the best possible deal you could get instead of trying to do it in the wee hours of the morning where everybody's sleeping and you're like, they wake up and go, what did you just do? You traded Luka? No, you don't do it that way. But we'll see if, let's put it this way. We'll see if Luka wins. We'll see if not playing defense and bitching at the officials leads the Lakers to a championship, because there's still part of me that's like, yeah, they could, absolutely, but I'm not so sure it's as certain as everybody thought it was.
It does get annoying, and I agree with you.
Super annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, get back on defense. Get your ass back on defense. Stop bitching at the official. And you know what's more annoying for a guy like me is, like, when you're a role player, you don't have that choice. Yeah. You just get back on defense, right? Nelly told me one time, this is the one time I actually got fouled. And I remember it was Dick Bavetta, and I was kind of like bitching at Dick Bavetta a little bit. I'm like, Dick, he hit my arm. And he goes, no. I go, yes, he did. So I kind of stopped for a minute, and then I turned around and ran back on defense. And Nelly was like, I turned around and he was looking at me. And I was like, oh, no. So I ran by Nelly. There was a timeout. Unfortunately for me, there was a timeout coming. And he bitched me up and down, and he said, you're not talented enough to not get back on defense. That was a direct quote. And I was like, there you go. So Mully could do it. Timmy could do it. Mitch could. I can't do it. Like, I cannot do that. It's like Hugh Evans one time told Craig Elo. Craig Elo asked Hugh Evans, the official, they were playing the Hawks, and he goes, hey, Hugh, when Dominique does that spin move, isn't that traveling? And he looked at him dead serious and said, if you were that talented too, I would let you get away with it. Like, what? What are we talking about here? Like, are we just going to apply the rules as we see fit? Is there like a tiered structure where it's like, okay, the superstars, and we all know it's kind of the case, right? Superstars get calls, superstars don't get calls on defense that maybe they wouldn't get. I had Hugh Hollins, the other Hugh, tell me one time a foul underneath the basket, which I wasn't even 5 feet. I wasn't even within 5 feet of the foul. And they called it on me. And I go, Hugh, what are you talking about? I was on the other side of the lane. And he looked at me and said, would you want me to give it to Shaq? That'd have been his third foul. And I go, you're goddamn right I wanted you to give it to Shaq. I want to play basketball. Because as soon as that was my third foul. They took me out. I was like, unbelievable. And he's like, would you want me to give it to Shaq? Well, yeah, he's the one that committed it. Give him the damn foul.
You can't have Shaq out.
I mean, and nobody even called him on it. But it was so funny because that was the one time, and I've had it happen before, but at least I was in the general vicinity of the play. This one, I was on the other side of I wasn't even close. I was like, what? Like, what, are you kidding me? Like, I wish I could see my face when he called it. Like, foul number 30. Like, what? Excuse me? Me? Did you want me to give it to Shaq? Well, yeah, he was the one that committed it. So, yeah, give it to Shaq. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable.
That's
unbelievable.
Great.
Some of this stuff. Although I will give you one last one. Jack Neese, we're playing in Cleveland. and he called a foul on me, an offensive foul. I caught the ball. I was on the top of the key, and I was moving right. So I caught it around the block. And as I caught it, I turned to the bucket to shoot it. And I thought I was going to be open, but Larry Nance was there. And Larry Nance was like 6'11", long. And it was just like, I was like an eclipse. I was like, oh, crap, I'm not going to be able to get the ball over him. So I turned around, and I held my left arm up and shot it over him and made the bucket. And he waved it off. He said, offensive foul. And I go, no, Jack. I held my arm up. I didn't extend it. I just held it up. And he goes, okay. He goes, let me go look at it at halftime. I'll go look at it and come back and get you. So we go out to warm up for the second half, and Jack finds me, comes over and says, was it Jack or Bruce Alexander? Maybe it was Bruce, but it didn't matter. So he comes up to me and he says, Tommy, you're right. He goes, I went and looked at it, and he goes, you didn't extend the arm. He goes, that should have been a bucket. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, early in the third quarter, just take it to the rim. I got you. So I got the ball, right? Like 20 feet from the bucket. Pump fake, put it on the ground.
Here we go.
Take it in, lay it up. Like easy layup. Like nobody around me. Beep. And I think the Cavs were like looking around going, who's that on? And I got I don't even know who he gave it to, but he gave it to somebody. Nobody touched me. Nobody was within a foot of me, and it just gave me a foul. And I think the Cavs were looking like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Tolbert? You're going to give Tolbert calls like that? Are you kidding me?" They were beside themselves.
That is great.
Like Mullen, it would have gone down easier. Not me.
Absolutely.
Not me.
He's a blue collar guy. You can't
but that was the best when he came into me and he goes, take it to the hole. I got you.
that's respect right there.
Oh yeah, that was respect right there. But that's all you want from an official is like somebody, because they're going to miss calls. All you want is like, hey, let me go look at it. I'll look at it, and if I miss it,
that's super genuine.
Yeah, and it's funny too because I have this argument with people, and they'll say like 2 wrongs doesn't make a right, and I'm like, well, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but when I'm involved with it, I want my call.
I was going to say when you're on the field or on the court, darn right it does.
I go, well, look at it this way. I go, they took 2 points from me that shouldn't have been taken from me or the team. I go, we should get those 2 points back.
Darn right.
And not only did we get 2, we got 3. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, family doing good?
Everybody's good. I know they're psyched that you're back and rolling.
Well, tell everybody thank you very much. I appreciate
you look good. Psyched for you, buddy.
I appreciate it. And so we'll get together next Monday. We'll get into some Niners stuff. We'll start getting into, you're gonna have to start narrowing down your Texas teams.
Man.
Unfortunately, your big guy for Texas Tech got hurt.
Yeah.
I know. He's good too, that JT Toppin.
I know.
He's really good.
I was ready to pick him, but now I'm probably going to jump on somebody else's bandwagon.
I don't know who else you have. You could jump on the top team in the Big 12. Bear down, Arizona. Bear down.
I got to say.
They're pretty good.
I watched them lose like a week, 10 days ago.
Yeah, they lost 2 in a row.
I know.
And
I was starting to think, like, okay, here we go.
They're pretty good. They're pretty because they were without 2 of their guys too for that game. Well, if you're going to stay in the state of Texas, you can't go wrong with Houston. Houston's pretty good.
They are pretty good. It's weird. Somehow when Houston's good, I'm like, all right, college basketball. That's what it was like when I was in school.
Phi Slamma Jamma.
Oh, so good.
Were you? They were when you were in Santa Clara. That was about Phi Slamma Jamma time, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Big afros, dunking on everybody. Keem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler.
That was. I had some good years. I had Patrick Ewing. We had right after I graduated, we had the Running Rebels rolling.
Oh yeah, Larry Johnson, all those guys.
That was a fun team to watch.
I try to tell everybody that kind of watches college basketball now. It's so hard to watch it now because you never know who's on whose team. The guys are jumping all over the place, but I go, you don't understand how big a deal Big Monday was back in the day when it was Georgetown going to Syracuse and they were playing the Dome and it was Patrick Ewing, it was Dwayne Pearl Washington. I go, that was like must-see TV if you were a sports fan. You couldn't wait.
Think about watching the Big East and going, this is the bomb.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We had PJ Carlesimo on a couple of years ago, and they had that Requiem for the Big East, or forget what it was, the 30 for 30, which was one of the best 30 for 30s of all time.
I'm going to check that out.
Oh, you definitely got to check it out. Yeah. It covers the inception of the Big East, how the Big East got to where they were, and kind of like the demise of Big East. Not surprising that the demise of the Big East came via your sport, football. They're like, oh yeah, let's have Miami in it and all these schools.
Genius.
Didn't quite work out. But you think about John Thompson, Rolly Massimino, Louis Carnesecca, Jim Boeheim, Calhoun.
It was kind of like big time wrestling.
Rick Pitino. It was. It was awesome. Like in that one year that Villanova beat Georgetown in the Final Four, St. John's was also in that Final Four. 3 Big East teams were in the Final Four.
I remember that.
Year. And I think it was Memphis State that was also in the Keith Lee was also in the Final Four. But like, it was like watching NBA Light is what it was like watching, because they were in school for 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
It was just, you need to watch that because I know you love it.
I will. That's right in my ear.
You will love it. Right in your wheelhouse. You will love it. So tell Dana and the kids and everybody that I said hi. And
I will. They'll be psyched.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great talking to you, my friend. And thank you so much for all the well wishes and the text and everything. All that helps you get through when you're going through something like I was going through. It helps me get through it. So I appreciate it.
We're fired up to have you back. You look great. Don't overdo it.
There you go. I think I'm done today. Yeah, I think I'm done.
Lori cracks the whip.
Yeah. I think talking to you for an hour was it. Now I'm just going to go lay down.
There you go. That'll wear you out.
Oh, man. All right. Love you, brother.
Love you, buddy.
All right, man. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, Tommy.
Take it easy, Brent.
See you, brother.
There you go. He's just the best. That's the reason I wanted to do this, just so I could talk to people that I talk to on the radio show all the time. And I do. It's basically been Drew, him, Brent, and Steve. Those have been my guys. And we may have one more guy coming up too for baseball, which will be kind of fun. So hopefully that comes to fruition. But yeah, I'll throw this out there, but this is kind of in pencil. But the Friday of opening weekend for the Giants, we're thinking about doing a show over at Fieldwork next to the ballpark. I think it's like a 2:30 game, because I think they have the Wednesday game. Then they're off Thursday, and they play Friday, rain, all that kind of stuff. So they want an open day. But that's kind of the thought. Now, it'll depend, again, on how I'm feeling and how everything's going. But, again, in pencil, we'd like to do that. And then maybe do some shows throughout the course of the summer over there. Get everybody over there, have a couple beers, go to a ball game. Maybe we'll have some sort of contest. We can go and hang out and get 10 people in the ballpark. We'll work with the Giants on that. But, I'd like to do a little more with baseball this year. I know baseball is not a huge seller on this platform. It's like everything else. It's football. So we'll spend our time doing that. But we got NBA playoffs coming out. We got March Madness coming up, stuff like that. But once the baseball season starts, we'll get into a little baseball and some Giants as well. So, all right, if you got any comments, we can take some comments. I'll probably get another 5-10 minutes. Should be good. What do we got? The 25th? Okay. So yeah, the 25th is kind of what we're thinking. Again, if we can get it done. That I'd like to. So and I know that I already talked to Barry about that. And so yeah, I think McGlinchey was the last time they drafted an offensive lineman, right? But you remember the guys they signed when Harbaugh was there? It was Davis and Yapati, and that paved. I mean, that they're pretty damn good for an extended period of time, and I think they were on the Super Bowl team. So, it's just something that I think there are fewer super skilled big guys on earth than there are skill position players. So I'm going to try to get, if I can, offensive and defensive linemen with my first round pick. That's what I would like to do. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe not. But that's where I would go. I would try to get the best offensive lineman or best defensive lineman and then worry about the rest later on. But O-line, D-line, wide receiver is probably the three position groups they got to address going into the offseason. Yeah, I mean, can you get a wide receiver one, though? I don't know. Like, is Concepcion a wide receiver one? Is Boston from Washington a wide receiver one? I really like Malachi Lemon, but it looks, I mean, I didn't think it'd be big. I thought you need to be bigger to go in the top 15. Like, I guess everybody really likes him. Although again, I don't think he did himself any favors with his interview yesterday. So you don't want Evans. No, I mean, I feel you. But, man, you got to have receivers, and you know he can do it. He can get it done. So unless you just want to retire, who else do they have? They have Watkins. I think Cowings is still on the team. We'll see about Juwan Jennings. We'll see if he ends up going somewhere. Bourne. Both those guys could be gone. So I got to have somebody. I'd be okay with. I think Pearsall, to me, is a wide receiver 2 if he's healthy. I like him. I do like him, but you got to prove you can stay healthy. My thoughts on Porzingis. I mean, stay on the court. The best ability is availability. I mean, he hasn't been available. So I don't know. I mean, if he's on the court, yeah. He defends the rim and stretches the court on the offense, on the offensive end. So I do like Porzingis. If Steph's not healthy, it doesn't matter. And they're saying Steph's not going to be back, I guess, minimum the Chicago game coming up at home. They have 5 more games. What is that? The Clipper game and then 4 road games. And then I think they have a little home stretch, starting with Chicago. But if he's not back, who cares? It doesn't matter. I just hope this isn't the beginning of, not the end, but these knee issues that Steph will have to deal with the rest of his career, that it might be, 5 games here, 10 games here, 4 games here, 2 games. So that's what happens when you get older. And has anybody in NBA history run more than Steph Curry? I'd like to find out how many miles he's run in his NBA career. How many guys have moved off the ball like him? Rip Hamilton, Reggie, but they didn't play as long, and they didn't have to run as far. So he may, if they had a stat to who has run the most miles in their NBA career, Steph could be that guy. He might have run. He may have run more miles than anybody. So there you go, the runner's knee. So anyway, what's more likely, Raiders trade with Niners or me supporting Girl Scouts? Probably me supporting Girl Scouts. That's more likely. Although I did avoid the terrorist guy yesterday. I went to the store yesterday and I said, no, you're not getting me. You're not getting me with your Thin Mints. We had some Thin Mints. Somebody bought, I think Haley might have bought them some Thin Mints, and they're good. Stick them in the freezer. I mean, they're so good. But don't ask me going into the store and coming out of the store. Okay? Once will suffice. Excuse me, are you interested in some Girl Scout cookies? No, thank you. Okay. 10 minutes later, are you interested in some Girl Scout cookies? Then you just fucking asked me that. No, was the reply. Leave me alone. Your tag-alongs. I just want to get out to the car, okay? Catch me next time I come here. I'll probably give you some. But don't hit me going in and coming out. Okay, at least remember who you ask going in. Unbelievable. But do I think the Niners can find adequate help for agent, right? Yeah, absolutely. Offensive linemen are harder to find. Yeah, no doubt about it. So, look, they're going to address wide receiver in the draft. They'll address it via free agency, and maybe they'll even address it via trade. So, who knows? I know people have brought up, will Jefferson be with the Vikings next year? I think he probably still will be. And we need players. And I'm not into paying receivers that much money anyway, but it'd be hard to turn down a guy like that if he became available. Tyreek Hill, oof. As of now, I'm a no. I'm a no on Tyreek Hill. I just am. Seems like he's been more of a mess than he hasn't been. And you could see it. He'll say the right things, do the right things. And then if he comes here and Shanahan's trying to run the ball 40 times in a game, maybe he throws a little fit. Where's my ball? Give me the ball. I need the ball in my hands. No. As of now, no. Sounds good. 5 years ago, yes. Now, no. But yeah, they need to beef up on the offensive line and defensive line. That's what they need. They need to stop the run defensively. Need to stop the run. And hell, need to be able to run. Like, what did McCaffrey average last year? Probably 3.7, 3.8, 3.6. I don't know. Yeah, that's so true. What's one more? Let me see. Excuse me. You got me looking this stuff up now. Let me see what player stats. Receiving, rushing, 3.9. So, yeah, they need. I mean, McCaffrey, if you give him adequate holes, he'll be up in the 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 range as far as yards per carry. So, that to me, that's the two biggest, like, without getting into player acquisition and who they should draft, who they should target via free agency. Just overall, the overall arching theme is be able to run the ball better, be able to stop the run. Football 101, right? What does everybody say? You got to run the ball, got to stop the run. Got to run the ball, got to stop the run. It's amazing the Niners did as well as they did without being able to run the ball and really not being able to stop the run all that well. And so, what was my first meal and beer after you got out of the hospital? I don't even know. I've had one beer in the last 7 weeks. One. My taste buds still are like deck chairs in the Titanic. They're just kind of all over the place. I'll eat stuff and it doesn't taste right. Spicy food is spicier than it should be. Not happy about that. I love my spicy food. So when I have spicy food and it doesn't taste quite right, or it's too spicy, but it's not spicy at all, that bums me out a little bit. And the hops in the beer aren't quite hitting yet. So the doctor said it'd take 2 months, possibly, to get those back. I go, those better be back. Those better be back, or we were just all wasting our time here at Stanford. So hopefully, I will. I'll let you know. But yeah, I've had one beer, and it was a porter. I had one that didn't have a lot of hops in it, so it's like, and the porter tasted fine. It was a nice one. It was a nice porter from Wondrous over there in Emeryville. So I enjoyed that. But I have a fridge, like a little mini fridge full of beer, and I can't wait to get to it. I can't. Lester from Bear Bottle brought me over some freshies that they were they had during a SF Beer Week, which I didn't get a chance to check out. So I'll get to him. I'll get to him at some point. Yeah, I know. Are you ready? You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Come on. Okay. For those that were wondering where she was, she's like, yeah, this is all great and all, but we're like 2:26. So you guys have kept her 30 minutes past her feeding time, and she's definitely hungry. She's like, Lou, are you hungry? Okay. All right. Yep. There we go. Hey. Okay. No, I know. Hey, stop. All right. I guess that's pretty much it. And a squeaky toy too. All right. I guess that's pretty much the end of the show. I think Steve Kerr is going to join me tomorrow. We'll talk all things Warrior basketball and hoops, and why you shouldn't talk pots. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining the show. Appreciate Brent joining the show. It's good to be back. So we'll be back tomorrow, and then we'll let you know for the rest of the week what we got going on. All right. Everybody have a great day. See you.
And remember this, Tommy T. Cash and tickets is what it's all about.